minutes thing. And looks like we're live on the YouTubes. Okay, hello everybody, Blue Dooley. Good morning. Well, it's still morning where I'm at. It's not 10:30 yet. Just going to be hanging out in ATS again. As you can see on the screen, we're going to check out a modded truck. I got a Freightliner Coronado we're going to build, and let me get my phone set up so I can view my comments and things. Hope everyone had a good week. There we go. All right, that's up on that now. So that should be good. And into the game. Excuse me. As I said, I just got this Freightliner Coronado off the SCS forums. So let's configure it and see what we're all about here. Raised roof sleeper LED. Not much there. Not much for chassis. That's here. Got ISX, Caterpillar, Detroit. Let's see here. What's the biggest motor we can put? Friggin' Caterpillar. I don't know why everybody has to have the Cat being the biggest engine. Transmission. We already got a Eaton Fuller 13. What do we got for interior? Original. Actually. Yeah, the bunk's a little. The diamond tuck's a little. Looks a little weird, but actually looks fairly well modeled. Let's see what the exclusive looks like. Got an odd texture right there. Color texture that's weird. Kind of like the gray. Let's keep that. Paint job. Do AC/DC. That's kind of cool. Bison transportation. Black Knight. Mustangs. Yeah, fairly decent color selection. We're going with blue because, of course, that's how we roll. Smoke. That never ever works for me. Oh, right on. Zone. Own custom modeled light bar on there. That's cool. I like that. Main mirrors. We got paint. Paint with camera, chrome, and chrome with camera. I think we're just going to leave those paint. Chrome trim on the sun visor. Actually looks pretty cool. You don't need no stinking headlight mirrors. You do some headlight with blinkers. That's kind of cool. Let's go with these. Okay, bumper. Standard bumper. Chrome bumper. Banner. We can do the oversized banner. Covers up the fog lights though. Front rim. Go with the wide front end. Side skirts. Okay, yeah. Huh. Add some more toolboxes. Radio, headache racks. Can't get the headache rack on it. That's cool. I like that. Mud guards, just quarter fenders. Not too bad. Let's go with the chrome rims and Bridgestone for Alcoas. Oh, I have an Alcoa mod. I should look and see what those look like. Alcoa Peterbilt. Not sure why it says Peterbilt on there. You can run Alcoas on everything. Let's see here. Hub. Do paint. And let's ditch the hub cover. Nuts. Nice. Get some square ones on there. Those look cool. Get rid of you. Paint you. Yeah, that's a pretty cool setup. Goodyears, Michelin's, Continental, Bridgestone. Yeah, those are some weird tread. Go with the heavy duty. The game heavy duties because they look the best, at least drive wise. Got chrome. Accessory slot. Oh, neat. Mud flap decals. I'm gonna put a flasher bar back, light bar for there for some no reason. Oh yeah, I forgot to see what we got on the front. Rear step. Now we can put front mounted steps. That's cool. That's skirts. Let's go back to front rim. There we go. That's what we're talking about now. We're give it to you. Yeah. Now we're getting somewhere. There we go. That looks badass. Sweet. Looks like that's about it for exterior. Let's see if we can get any smoke. I usually hate those kinds of mods because they never work, but we'll try it out. Now let's see what we can do on the inside. Let's see, we got GPS. That's cool. I like that. Front mirror, driver plate, console items. Ooh, it is compatible with SISL's Mega Pack. love you like a hobbit loves second breakfast. I would have that mug for real. Coins and notes, lightsabers. Caps, rubber duck. Well, you can put just about everything on there. Dashboard sets. That's just more cup holder sets. About all the, yeah, let's do the Hobbit coffee cup. I like that. Floor items, magazines, cleaning kit, cola, snacks, yeah, we'll throw the safety vest and the hard hat on the floor. You can put stuff on the seats, sleeper floor, table items, pillows. Right. Radio. Weird that wasn't in the options already. Alright, well, let's confirm. Purchase, and we'll try her out. Put her in the old Idaho Falls. Garagey. Enter. Truck manager. Rabbit. Got some Cheez-Its for a snack. Nice of it to put us outside. Bear with me for just a sec. We're going to throw a link up on my Facebook page. Come on, Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. My thumbnail's going to be wrong, but I didn't have time to get a new one. Alrighty. That's good to go. Okay. Now let's drive this truck and find a load. Of course, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Lights up pretty good. Backup lights don't do nothing though. Alright, why not? It's a pain in the ass. It put us in Twin Falls. That's aggravating. I hate it when that's the one thing that bugs me about the game. It's like, I put it in Idaho Falls. Why didn't we just stay in Idaho Falls? So now we got to fast travel back to Idaho Falls. Sounds pretty good. Jake's a little weird. Yeah. Actually, the engine sounds pretty good. Has high beams. Kind of cut that corner wrong. As I mentioned earlier, hope everybody's week went well and they're having a good weekend. I was hoping to get some work done on the snowplow, but too cold and I'm waiting for some parts. Yeah, the dash and all the window switches and stuff are lit up pretty good. We're gonna get off and find us a heavy haul. Apparently it is 64 degrees up here in Idaho Falls according to the temperature on the GPS. That's kind of cool. Automatic canceling turn signals are nice. Yeah, not a bad sounding engine. Bring it off here, so no sense running up to 70. You thought I had a trailer attached as wide as I swung that. You see, if we'd have stayed in Idaho Falls garage, we'd have been able to just back out and come over here and get a load. Alright. Let's see what we got. Apparently everything goes to salmon. Well, I really don't want... Yeah, screw it. Let's do that. Tanks were refilled and driving hours restored. Did you see the camera guy? He's all like... a little too excited there, dude. And boy, that reporter looks so enthused, let me tell you. Alright, so let's go out here. See how the flashers look. The flashers look pretty good. I am a little disappointed that this doesn't have a lift axle, as I saw a blue Freightliner Coronado set up as a heavy haul truck. Big 20,000 pound front end, set of tandems on his lift axle. If you follow me on Instagram, you'd have seen that photo. Actually, a really nice looking truck. It was blue. So let's see here. If we hug that line, it'll still be off the curb enough we don't have to worry about hitting anything on the side of the road. Already got the nice horns on it. So yeah, let me know how your week was, how your weekend's going. Pretty busy all week, at least pretty steady. Although I did manage to have enough time one day to sneak into the truck wash, get the work truck washed. Looking like we're still going to be fairly steady for the next, well, the little bit of schedule I saw for at least most of the way through March looks pretty steady. Transmission does have low. Try not to take out the stoplights. They kind of get mad at you if you do that. That's what we got going on. Not a whole heck of a lot. Hey, the traffic stopped, but the escort vehicles aren't spawning in. That's kind of interesting. If you haven't, definitely check out the snowplow test video in the daylight. I think once I get some paint on the blade so the snow doesn't stick, it'll work a little better. I think that'll help it a lot. I have to switch out the servo on the plow that does the angle, because I'm pretty sure I hit something with the blade and stripped out part of the gears in the servo. The servo still works, but it doesn't have full range of movement. It won't hold the blade as far as I need it. So phone's binging about. Which is kind of a bummer, but at the same time, I kind of thought that might happen to it. I need to adjust the angle on my servo anyways, so I can get more. Actually, I need a longer servo arm so I can get more throw out of it. Might have to see about getting a long servo saver or something. This is actually about the size of a haul truck. I don't think I put any video up from the dash cam on that yet. Well, I had to come to a stop because you took that too slow, cop. I do need to see if I can find a mod that changes the escort vehicles from police units to actual escort units. Be nice if somebody had like a mod that randomized what the escort vehicle is. Like maybe it's an old Crown Vic, maybe it's a Toyota Prius, maybe it's a one-ton dually. I've seen all of those as pilot cars. The pilot car service we use over in eastern Idaho, one guy drives a Prius, the other drives a minivan. And then the third driver, I think, actually has a ex-Crown police car, Crown Vic, which is probably out of all of them the smartest, because the police units would have the heavier duty electrical system in them to handle the lights. My turn signal's still on. Nope. Now that we're in the day, we can look at the dash a little better. Still got my window rolled down. Okay, what is that mirror supposed to be looking at? Oops. Alright. Toggle side mirrors. There we go. We need to adjust that mirror. It's not looking at anything. I mean, you can't even see the damn oversized loaded so far out there. That's better. Alright, well now that the mirrors are adjusted, should have done that before I started the trip, but since we were driving outside, yeah, that's a lot better visually. Must be a clock up there in the center console up there. That's kind of cool. I've driven a lot of Freightliners, but never a Coronado. Another trooper. I guess we'll see how good the AI does here. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna sit tight. Might have knocked one of them cones with the load. Nine o'clock and we're already up to 83. Must be the middle of July or August. It's actually a fairly decent modeled interior. The textures on the dash. Oop, you probably caught the curb. I bet we did. That's what you get for looking at the interior instead of paying attention to your mirrors. Because I bet we ground that up against the guardrail. But yeah, it doesn't seem like the dash has consistent color all the way across it. I'm gonna hit the bus. I don't care about the delineator posts, but the hitting oncoming traffic would be no good. She's pretty heavy. 600 horsepower is working a little bit to get her going. And I know I could have put in the bigger cat motor with more horsepower, but I don't like Caterpillar engines. I have been burned way too many times by a Caterpillar engine to actually want one in a truck. Because the Kenworth I drive at work right now is the first one I've driven, first Caterpillar engine vehicle I've driven that didn't go in the shop every other month. And you might say, well, quit driving them so goddamn hard, or maybe learn how to drive, except I'm not the only one who drove the trucks, and everybody else had to take them into the shop too. I'd go on vacation and come back and my truck would be in the shop because the guy that was driving it while I was on vacation, the injector went out on it, or the high pressure oil pump went out on it, or the turbo, or one of the intercooler boots wouldn't stay on it. Just, I don't like them. They'll never convince me otherwise. I've driven a few dozen Caterpillar powered rigs and 2 were good. I'll stick with Cummins or Mack or International or Detroit. Which is funny because if you see any of my comments on people running two-stroke Detroits, I'm always make the comment that the only reason a vehicle with a two-stroke Detroit engine in it had a radio is so you had something to listen to when the motor was broke, because you couldn't hear the engine if it was running. You couldn't hear the radio if the engine was working. And there's also the ever-present on all Detroits, if there's no oil under them, there's no oil in them. But I would rather have a Mack or an International engine. I've had to take them to the shop fewer times. Please scoot it over, missed that car. And in my experience, nobody needs as much displacement as Caterpillar to make the same amount of power. I have a 15-liter Cat in the Kenworth at work, and the 13-liter Mack in the CH 600, I want to say. Both are day cabs. Both are pretty similar wheelbase. The only difference is the Mack had a 13 speed instead of a 10. But that Mack, I guarantee you, would run circles around that Kenworth all day, every day, no matter how much weight you put on them. If they were loaded equally, the Mack would outpull that Caterpillar all the time. So, no, I'm not a fan of the Caterpillar. Kind of for the same reasons I'm not a fan of Peterbilts or Kenworths, is they don't live up to the hype to me. I remember the first time I drove a Peterbilt, I was like, yeah, I'm going to drive a long hood Pete and it's going to be awesome, and it was just terrible. The truck had a Cummins in it, wore the hell out. 13-speed transmission, hauled gravel with it, and yeah, it's a Peterbilt, looks like a Peterbilt. Was just as noisy and rattly as any other truck with a squizillion miles on it. Absolutely nothing special about it at all. Kenworth I drive at work's the first Kenworth I've driven, and it was kind of the same way. Yep, it's Kenworth. Not any better than any Mack, Freightliner, or International I've driven, or even an auto car, because I've driven some auto cars too. And yeah, the only reason you buy a W900 or a 379 Pete is because you want to look cool. That's it. You just want to look cool. Auto car mainly does vocational trucks. I don't think they have an over-the-road truck anymore. If you watch Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone, he drove an auto car in that. Actually, one of the nicest trucks I drove was a 2014 auto car. It was a demo truck. And it was well laid out. The gauges and switches and controls for everything were well placed. You only had to look for them once, and then you just kind of always knew where the controls were, even if it was the first time driving the truck. The cab was well insulated. I remember that, especially from noise. Like, it was a very quiet cab. But I've driven, we got 5K dubs. They're all right. Probably drove 6 Peterbilts. They're all right. And Max Internationals and Freightliners are mostly what a lot of people run. So probably a dozen Freightliners, 9 or 10 Internationals, and 9 or 10 Max. And I'll take the Mac and the International over Kenworth or Peterbilt any day. Because I've driven even a clapped out Mac. You know, needed an overhead, needed a rebuild. Nobody knew exactly how many miles were on it because they knew it ticked over the odometer at least once. I don't know if it was ever fully running on all cylinders. Missed that. Oops. Let's drop her into low here and cheat. Hopefully we're going to miss the awning. I didn't even think of that. Nope. We might be stuck. Yeah, we'll skip it. That was a mistake. So aside from smashing the awning there at the end, oops. We're going to still be in salmon. We're outside of salmon. Yep. Forget what other places have heavy hauls. Let's go cargo weight. Casper to Gillette. Idaho Falls to Riverton. Log stacker from Gillette to Pokey. Ranger to Seattle, Washington. That might be kind of cool. I don't know if we can fast travel to Gainesville though. Steamboat Springs to New Mexico. Log loader. Massive Tech part. 99,208 pounds. Yeah, let's do that. So let's do a real fast travel over to Boise because it'd be silly not to. I know I shouldn't be snacking on a live stream, but I'm not professional. Those like Alcoas look really good though. Overall, this is a pretty good mod. I'll try and remember after I'm done live streaming to put a link to the mod in a pinned comment. I would like to see more chassis options on modded trucks. And in-game trucks. I'd just like to see more chassis options, period. Because they all need at least one option with a lift axle. Now if you're East Coast or Europe, you guys don't run that many axles, but out here in the West you see a lot of trucks with 4 axles. Now we're going to go past the stadium. I should jump into my Mac and the Anthem I have and see if the Alcoas will fit on it. Nice turbo whistle to the truck. Ooh, there's a car dealer. Stay in the road. I don't know if there's an Amtrak station down here or not. I've been to a lumberyard over on this part of town, but I don't remember. I don't remember there being a switchyard there too. Let's see here. We got the massive tech part. That's the job we want. That load is not properly secured at all. 99,000 pounds, and it's only got 4 ratchet straps on it. That's not gonna fly at all. Yeah. Worst load securement job. Flasheroonies. Yeah, that pickup truck should be my escort vehicle, not the police car. You know what? I should probably roll up my window since it's raining. Want to hit the K-rail. Yeah, pickup truck would look great in my driveway. The gear counter's kind of neat. So check to see if the switches and stuff are animated. I really like my job where I'm at hauling trusses, but if I got another driving job, I'd want to do oversized still. Overdimensional, heavy haul. I think reefer or drive-in would just be too boring. Too much same. And well, I do the same thing every day. Well, I pretty much do the same thing every day. Not every location where we drop off is like any other. Helicopter pad over there. Not every load's the same. Because we do a lot of spec homes, which are the same. They'll have like maybe 3 or 4 floor plans they'll put in a subdivision. But on the custom homes, some of those just get ridiculous. I mean, when when you're 3, 4, 5 loads into one house, a big damn house and a lot of trusses. And those are usually kind of neat because, like the one that's going to be five loads, it's not easy to get to. Thankfully, they're not big trusses. They're just a lot of them. What was it? Because I took the long haul truck up to that job. I was glad I wasn't stretched out because I'd have never gotten in if my trailer was stretched. And that longer wheelbase with the sleeper cab. But it had 147 yards of concrete for the foundation. I couldn't tell you what like an average sized house needs for concrete. But you figure a truck will hold 20 yards. 10 to 20 yards, I forget. I've never driven a concrete truck or a mixer truck. But usually you can get a foundation poured for a house with 1, maybe 2 trucks. But 147 cubic yards of concrete. Just a monster house. Now this is actually a thing I'm going to gripe about in the game that the game definitely got wrong. You couldn't take this load up Highway 55. Can't actually have a trailer longer than 48 foot up Highway 55 once you get north of Horseshoe Bend. Because of things like this, the bridges are just way too narrow and the road's too tight. Mainly has to do with the trailer's off tracking. And this thing's so long with those Jeeps, you'd be smashing that load into the rocks, even if you were in the opposite lane. So that is kind of one of the details they did get wrong. I mean, it 22 feet wide, you're as wide as some of these bridges up here. You figure if the lanes are actually 12 foot wide, which I don't know if they even are, a 22 foot wide load is as wide as the entire road. At least travel lane wise. So it is a pretty drive, but you couldn't go up this road with this big of a load. I don't know why my phone keeps dinging. I'm not getting any notifications. I think the maximum width you can be on the road up Highway 55 north of Horseshoe Bend is only 12 feet. And if you're over 10, you have to have a pilot, lead escort, and a trailing escort. That's it. Not all of their routing is realistic. And that kind of thing you wouldn't even know unless you do oversized load in the state of Idaho. Snug fit there. Or if the devs would have had to look up each state's over-dimensional permits, because they have routing. So certain roads and certain highways and bridges, they already know, well, you can't go over them if you're over this weight. You can't go down this road if you're over this width, or over this length, or over height, a certain height. So unless you look at those maps, those route maps, you wouldn't know that you couldn't take this load up this road. And this bridge is pretty much the reason why, as it is not this wide in real life. I would wager the lanes across that bridge are 10 feet. It's a very narrow road. A very narrow bridge. And the one time I did come up here oversized, I was like 10'6", and the lady told me to slow way down so she could go across the bridge and let me know when it was clear so I could come across the bridge and take up the whole bridge. So this load would not be going this route. It's just that simple. It'd have to go the long way. Or the longer way, I should say. You'd probably have to take interstate over into Oregon and up and then back to where we're going. Because you're actually going through a national forest up Highway 55. And with the traffic it has in the summer, getting this big of a load up that road would be a nightmare. Because it's not a lot of fun when you're not oversized going up this road in the summer. There's just so much traffic. And since you're in a truck, everybody thinks you're the one holding them up, but it's actually the old couple in the giant RV or towing a monster fifth wheel that's holding you up, and there's not enough passing lane for you to get around them. So you'll have people pass the truck even though it's double yellow line and curvy, and then they get halfway around you and realize, there's 4 or 5 cars in front of you, and then a big old RV. And the RV is what's slowing the whole line of traffic up. So then they cut somebody off, trying to force their way back into traffic because they're impatient. Already up in McCall. Probably shouldn't run into the back of my pilot car. I don't think there's a Lowe's in McCall. That would be a very tiny Lowe's if it was really there. But yeah, trying to get this load through this town would have been a chore. I'll tag that car. It is a beautiful drive, and McCall is a pretty town. But yeah, you're not coming up here 22 foot wide. Up 55. Shouldn't have even bothered upshifting. If you're just tuning in, we're just doing a ATS Hangout. A little too cold, and I'm waiting on some parts to work out in the garage on the snowplow. Because I need the part to get here, so I know how much bracket I need, how much space I need on the frame for it. And even if I had my heaters out there turned up to max, it's just so cold I don't think I'd get it warm enough out in the garage to do any of the painting I'd like to do. We're checking out a Freightliner Coronado mod that I will try to remember to put a link to in the down in the comments later. Fairly impressed with the mod overall. There is some texture issues in the cab, but aside from that, it's actually a pretty well modeled truck. The engine sound, jake brake, and all that noise is sounds pretty good. Yep, we're just kind of hanging out because it's too cold to work on anything, and I need parts. Too cold to paint, and I need parts. I also need to remember to send somebody an email about some parts on the full-size truck later today. Why do you have your hazards on? And being dark, we'd have quit hauling before sunset. It's gonna be close. Especially up a road like this, it just wouldn't be safe to be this wide up this road in the dark. Somebody'd come flying around a corner and run into the load or the truck because you're halfway in the other lane. Not to say they don't move oversized at night, because they do. But usually it's in like cities and stuff. They'll move the load from wherever it was built or assembled or is being removed from. They get it loaded and then move it out to a staging area overnight so they can get on the freeway in the day. At least here in the United States. They might do it differently in Europe, which I'm sure they do. And I'm not sure on all states, but Idaho, any load that requires an escort vehicle, because of width, height, or length, you can't actually be on the road the day of a major holiday, and you have to park by noon the day before, and you can't run again until noon the day after a major holiday. I don't know if that's all states, but Idaho, that's just something Idaho does. Which is nice, because that means I always get at least the major holidays off. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July, and Memorial Day, Labor Day. Of course, since the wife's at the school district, she got President's Day off. I had to work. But I do enjoy driving. If I couldn't drive truck, I'd probably go bonkers. That is for sure. I don't do good sitting still. I hate watching TV. I'm not even a huge fan of video games. It's just something to do when I can't do the other things I want to do. But these live streams are pretty fun. I like watching live streams. It's fun to interact with people and the people who are making the video. Just about to our destination. Then I think we will switch back to the Mac Anthem. And see if we can put the alcove, modded alcove rims on it. I'd like to see a little more base game customization. Some more exhaust options, definitely more chassis options. And it'd be nice if more trucks, you could change the paint on the frame. You don't have to, not all trucks have black frames. But I think being able to paint the frame, paint the tanks, a few more exhaust options, and you'd really see a lot of customization on the in-game trucks. All of mine would look the same because I'd paint them the same. Because they'd all be a shade of blue. And they'd all have black rims. There we are. We are actually pretty straight in the lines. So let's see how we did. 10 hours to go 188 miles. No, I didn't want that one. Well, that one. Yep. That's exactly what I want to do. It's still raining. Let's at least make it daylight. Now this chassis setup is a mod. 48-inch sleeper tri-drive. Probably should set the brakes while we're filling up. Boy, I wish diesel was down to 326 a gallon. Actually, I wish it was a lot lower. We do got modded light bar, accessories, so I could paint match or black out all the plastic trim like the grill, the bumper. We're running shadow wheels, but we're going to go see if we can get the Alcoas on every position. Probably have my lights on since it's raining. Alright, let's jump into customization. Yeah, this 8x6 tri-drive is a mod. You can only use it with 48-inch sleeper because the mod author who created it, that's the setup he wanted, so he didn't adjust it for anything else, which is all right. We got this Aussie spec MP10 in it. And I think, yeah, I got the 1250 horsepower D24 engine as a mod. But 700 horsepower works pretty good. 13 speed with retarder. Okay, let's do some wheels. Alcoa disc heavy wide. There we go. Those are offset a little more, looks like. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Looks like they're flipped. We don't need a hub cover. There we go. That makes it look a little better. Alright, so we'll go up tier 2. Those. And you can run plain, covered, or spikes. I think we'll just go with those. That looks pretty damn good. Yeah, I kind of like the no name tires. Let's switch these. Those and nuts. Yeah, let's just run we'll run the chrome, but we're not going to run the fancy. Oops. Pick the right ones. There we go. That's a pretty sweet setup. Heck yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, that's a good looking setup. Got the in-game truck or train horns on it. Let's find us a load. Yeah, we'll do a world of trucks. See what we got. We're gonna run a hip bulldozer down to Ogden. Falls up to Salmon. Yeah, let's do the dozer. Dozer 2. Yeah, we'll do that. do a dozer. Hey, my center dash is working again. It had quit working. Got my Triceratops from the Wyoming DLC. As you can see, I got 9,200 miles on this truck. It's kind of my favorite truck, if I'm honest. Wish I could get one of those in the game. That particular model of Mac. I think in 18 Wheels of Steel or some of them other old truck games, you could actually drive straight trucks. Hey, Mustang. It's kind of raining. You might want your top up. Truck seems louder than that Freightliner. But the trains in the game are shorter than they are in real life. So if there were real life trains in some places, you'd be waiting for a long time. Almost noon. So, not sure how long we'll keep this stream going. Might finish this haul up and call it a day. That squiggle line is really there, though. our dozer? Yep. Alright, that's gonna be a pain in the ass to get that thing out of here. Yep, I'd say we're connected. With the airlines, all the blinky lights. Turn on my strobes and hopefully I think we're just going to end up dragging that thing. Let's go further in the yard and turn around. Let's go out here, turn around, and we're not hitting things with this giant dozer. Which hopefully we got enough room to turn around. We're scrubbing the hell out of them tires though. Good thing we're on dirt. Yep, good thing we're on dirt. Snake her around here. And again with the ratchet straps. We're going to check something here. We're going to check something. So we got a ratchet strap over the ripper, which isn't set down on the trailer. So that's not good. A single chain going through the tow bar and a single chain up front. I hate to break it to you, SCS, but your load securement needs work. Because there should be a minimum of 5 chains on this, and that's not even counting if the chains are have enough weight rating for this machine. Because you need one on each corner, one holding the attachment down, unless it has a transport lock. So that should be on the deck and chained. And then given how big this thing is, you probably need at least 2 or 3 more chains for the correct weight. So sorry SES, I have to give you a fail on your load securement. Quite a bit of traffic today. And a very short traffic light. That's pretty accurate for Twin Falls. Maybe the sun will clear up a little bit, or the rain will clear up here in the game, and we won't be driving in rain the whole way down. This truck sounds a lot louder than that Freightliner did. Are we lost there, bud? Apparently so. Waiting at the traffic light. Madison must have had something pretty heavy or fragile. Engine leveled up. That's cool. That is cool. you can switch through the display on these. Air pressures. The poor guy's been sitting in the rain for a while. Apparently our average speed's 52, 2 miles to the gallon. But considering pretty much everything I've hauled with this truck puts the gross over 100,000 pounds, that kind of makes sense. Driving over the canyon. Air balloon over there. $9,300 miles on the odometer. So we haven't even broke the truck in yet. Also partly because I've been messing around with mod trucks, so if I hadn't downloaded any mod trucks or any of that stuff, we'd pretty much been driving this the entire time. Of course, it's a World of Trucks contract, so farting along at 65. $11:47 a.m. We're gonna get there a little after 5 p.m. Shouldn't need to stop for fuel because we filled up before we even got loaded. Glad the sun came out here. Well, that's a long setup. And I suppose we'll probably have to stop in at the weigh station. Nope, we can bypass. Sweet. Well, that's even better. Even better, I say. Let me twist the cap off my pop one-handed. That's a stumpy little trailer. It would be nice if we could go faster than 65 with the World of Trucks contracts, but I've kind of beat that dead horse several times. I am looking forward to the Texas update. Also really kind of looking forward to the Montana update. That'll give a pretty, between Montana and Texas, that'll give a pretty huge area to be driving around in. I don't know how many maps the devs have planned. If they're going to eventually have the game go coast to coast, or if maybe they're going to go so far and then work on American Truck Sim 2, or if they're just going to keep improving the game over time. As I mean, upgrading the graphics would be one thing, but going to just redoing the entire game from scratch to update it seems a little silly. As aside from the traffic merging AI bug, I think the AI traffic's pretty good, and most of the major cities in this game would be in any other game. So it'll be interesting to see if they do eventually get the game large enough so it's all the way from one coast to the other. Of course, they do update the trucks. You can get the newer body style Freightliners, I'm pretty sure. It's an enjoyable game because, aside from the occasional AI quirk where they don't know how to merge, and everybody on the interstate just comes to a stop, it's not a frustrating game. It's a fairly relaxed, straightforward game. You don't need a wheel and pedals to play it. You can just run a gamepad like I'm doing to play the game. Although if you want to be more of a simulator, you can get a wheel, pedals, gear shift. The game supports motion platform seats apparently. So I mean, you can make it as immersive as you want. I drive for my real job, so I don't need that much immersion. I just play the game so I can drive whatever truck I want, whenever I want, and haul whatever I want, wherever I want to go. I don't need the full simulator effect to enjoy the game, because I do it in real life. So I think arguing about paperwork with a shipper or a loader it'd add realism, but it wouldn't make the game any funner, I don't think. In fact, I think it would be off-putting to have to deal with that kind of crap in a game. I'd like to see some load tweaks. Since that truck with the low point just went by with a bucket. You wouldn't need a triple axle low loader, low boy trailer to haul a bucket. You could put it on a step deck, you put it on a regular flatbed. You could probably put two of them on a regular flatbed and be just fine. Same with the forklifts. You don't need a big triaxle setup to haul a couple of forklifts. You put them on a regular, just a regular flatbed, and you'd be just fine. Let me know what kind of tweaks you'd like to see if you're not watching this live and you're watching it after the fact. What are some updates or things you'd like to see in the game? 141,788. You are going to let us out. Thank you. If that was a real driver, he'd probably just sped up to make sure he wasn't stuck behind me, being oversized and heavy. Chapnor. Lead Chapnor. Okay. Don't know what that is. And since they just added new trailers to the game, and Texas is going to have different loads, I'd like to see a wider variety of loads, especially flatbeds. Because there's nothing to model in a dry van or a reefer. Weird that the tar is flickering like that. I don't know. So some different loads would be nice. Or I would think would be appreciated. I'd like to see some more trailers in the game too. Step deck would be really good. Or something like a Load King or Landall. Equipment trailer. Roll-off trailer would be neat. Of course, part of the fun of those is loading them, but just a few more trailer types and load types to kind of mix the game up a little bit, I don't think would be a bad thing. And maybe a little bit of a physics improvement, like if you're hauling one of the food grade tankers, if they could implement load surge, that'd be interesting. If the game had load surge in the tanks, because the food grade trailers they don't have baffles in them because you can't get them cleaned out. But chemicals, fuel, oil, stuff like that, those tanks have baffles in them, so it keeps the liquid from sloshing so much. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if the game had better fluid physics. It's like if you panic stopped with a food grade tank, if the load would slosh or surge forward and scoot the truck forward, that'd be kind of interesting. Yeah. A little bit of hitching going on here in the city. I should probably look into updating my graphics card. But I have so many other projects, I don't really have this extra cash to be upgrading my computer while I'm trying to finish building projects. Working on the full-size truck at the same time. we'll see. If you missed last week's stream, I was excited about getting more than over 300 subscribers to the channel. So once again, I appreciate all the people watching and supporting me. Even if I ain't making any money because I'm not monetized yet. But I enjoy the support. And I mainly do this for fun. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it. It is cool to play games live. I'd really like to collaborate with a few people, because I think it'd be fun to play with them, and two, get the channel out to a little bit wider audience. Because I do still want to grow the channel. I just don't have all the same social media as other YouTubers. So it's kind of hard to get a hold of some people. You son of a bitch. I was not prepared for the AI to do something that realistic. So that's that kind of thing. Yeah, I've seen people slam on the brakes because there was a cop had somebody pulled over, which doesn't make any sense unless you're, as the one meme said, unless you're doing 100 miles an hour screaming with the severed head out the window, they're not going to bother to come get you. Just like everybody when they slam on the brakes when they see a Charger sitting in the median. Well, way to prove that you were speeding. Just set your cruise and stay in it. Forgot to see if I could find the map that somebody mentioned the last live stream for Mexico. I had every intention of looking for it, and then I forgot. Like an ownable dry bulk van, like that would be, trailer would be cool. Those dump trailers do look nice. It's 35 through here. tree down. Been a while, so I don't remember where my gears are. I haven't been down here before. Discover a new town. A tight corner for this long of a setup. It's alright, going someplace new. See, if the AI were really accurate, 4 of those people would have tried to fly back past me before the lane ended. Come on, what's with the lag? At least you get off the road when they want you to park this one. Just pull in here, get her unloaded. Hit the park brake. Turn off all the lights. Shut off the engine. Alright, there we go. 390 miles, took 41 minutes. Drank 52 gallons of diesel. And that puts me up to 52 World of Trucks contracts completed. Nice, easy 28,000 bucks. If only it were that real easy. So I think that's going to do it for this live stream. Hope you enjoyed the live stream, and thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, hope everyone has a good weekend. I got a pretty steady schedule, it looks like, at work. I got some video for the dash cam. I was going to upload a video of that a little later today. I need to do a little editing for that. So as always, click like if you enjoy the content, subscribe if you want to see more of my content, and we'll catch you later.